What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the 3 biggest secrets to lose fat and keep it off. The number 1 secret is the biggest reason why I was able to lose 50 pounds of fat and keep it off all these years. It's the biggest reason why my clients are able to get lean and stay lean. The number 1 secret is to learn how to eat in moderation, to eat to the point of satisfaction. I know you've heard it a million times before, but the secret is to actually apply it. Just like my client Don has been doing for this first month that he's been working with me here. He's lost 15 pounds already, and he just went away on a little mini trip, a little weekend getaway with a friend, and they were out enjoying a lot of different foods, a lot of different restaurants. What they did was share their meals. They'd buy different entrees, split them between each other. He learned through my tips, my coaching here, to just take his time chewing his food, recognizing that that's a big aspect of the whole digestion process, starting in our mouths while we're chewing it, but really truly savoring every bite, savoring the company that he's with, and he was gaining a lot more pleasure with each bite that he was taking. And then stopping at the point of satisfaction, knowing that, all right, we've got some more restaurants and bakeries and places that we want to go explore, and we can enjoy those foods as well because we've just been stopping ourselves short of feeling full, feeling stuffed. And again, for a lot of us, eating to that point above satisfaction doesn't really bring us any greater joy. It just brings us more discomfort. And there is my coaching client Frank, who not only was able to get lean and look like a freaking stud, but he's been able to keep that fat off as he's been going through a muscle building phase because of learning this valuable lesson to simply eat to the point of satisfaction while enjoying all of his favorite foods. He's big on craft beers and attends a lot of events with buddies and stuff, that like some tailgating type stuff where there's going to be lots of great food there, and he's learned to eat to the point of satisfaction. Just sample everything, have a little bit of everything. You don't have to pig out on it. You get to enjoy it to the fullest there. And he's learned to like bring water with him, and drinking water while he's there, it fills him up more. It just kind of fills that void in his stomach while eating and makes that food expand a little bit more, so he gets fuller a little bit faster. And instead of his typical like 6 beers that he'd usually have at these outings, he can keep it to 1 or 2, again, savoring every sip and savoring the experience that he is surrounded by with all his friends and family there. And for myself personally, this was a huge learning lesson because I could never eat my favorite foods in moderation. Once I opened that box of cookies, it was gone. Open a bag of chips, gone. Tub of ice cream, 1 scoop, tub, gone. Like, I just could not control myself, which is the biggest reason why I was having these epic cheat days once a week. I'd abstain throughout the week and then just have one day where I just go all out. And it was popular at the time, very popular to have these epic cheat days. And this brings us to the biggest secret, number 2 here, which is having a heightened sense of awareness. I find that most of us are focused on what everyone else is doing and not really spending the time to look within and do what's best for us. So for me personally, I was looking at, there's books like Cheat Your Way Thin and all these different books that were all talking about the benefits of having this cheat day, how it was going to be great for boosting your metabolism and helping you stick with your diet, which may have been the case for a lot of people, and it did kind of help me at times. But I was doing what other people were doing instead of looking within. And when I started looking within, I was realizing that these epic cheat days, like at the end of the day, I was just feeling disgusting. I was feeling sluggish, lethargic. I'd go to bed with acid reflux and sleep like crap. So my energy was terrible the next day. My digestive system was completely thrown off for a few days, all blocked up, or the opposite there. It just wasn't good for me. And then I'd have to eat a lot less throughout the rest of the week to make up for that epic cheat day. So having that heightened sense of awareness that, you know what, this is just not suiting me best, I've really got to learn to eat to the point of satisfaction, to eat, enjoy my favorite foods in moderation. This is a learned skill for most of us, which is why it may sound easy, but most people struggle with it because it is hard. It's a learned skill that you need to keep practicing, like Don has been, like Frank has been, like all my clients have been. Tom is another great case. And when it comes to that heightened sense of awareness, another great example with Don is that you may have noticed that although he's lost 15 pounds this month, there was almost a week there where he was kind of plateaued. The biggest reason for that little plateau, nighttime snacking. So asking him questions, having that heightened sense of awareness. What are some of the triggers that are leading to these little not really binges there, but causing you to snack at night when you're not really hungry. And really, one of them was he was staying up later watching TV. That was his way to kind of he would fall asleep watching TV. I'm like, dude, like, you're tired, go to bed. Do what's in your best interest right now. That's going to kind of eliminate the chances of you snacking, having those nighttime snacks. He also knows that coffee was another thing that would trigger his appetite and have a negative impact on his sleep as well. And we just kind of came up with other alternatives. If he really did feel like a snack, what would be some better choices in that moment? Some higher protein snacks, maybe it's like a beef jerky or some hard-boiled eggs or some pickles or something low calorie, maybe some smoked salmon. There's lots of little different options he could roll with if he was actually hungry. But a lot of times he was having that nighttime snack out of boredom, just sitting in front of the TV. Boredom and habit. So we conquered that, and again, boom, next thing you know, forward progress is moving along there. And then there's Tom, that heightened sense of awareness with him, faced with temptations each and every day at the office there. And again, used to cave into those temptations all the time, but he's really had that heightened sense of awareness, not only like when to turn down those foods and when to allow himself to enjoy it, but just how those foods are making him feel. Now, like some of those favorite treats that he used to enjoy all the time, he's not gaining the same kind of pleasure from. He realizes that some of those foods were making him feel sluggish, and he's much better off consuming whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods that are going to allow him to thrive. So having this heightened sense of awareness of how satisfied you feel after certain meals that you have or certain treats that you have. Maybe it satisfies your cravings, the sweet tooth and everything, but doesn't satisfy the hunger in your stomach. And you still are hungry after having those treats and looking for other foods. And also having that heightened sense of awareness of like how many calories are in the foods and the meals that you're eating. So tracking your calories for a little bit, with that heightened sense of awareness there, so then you can wean yourself off calories, and just paying attention to the portion size and just having a good idea of how many calories are in the foods that you're consuming. Again, how each food makes you feel. Again, when to abstain from the foods, when to enjoy those foods. Another one of my coaching clients, Mario, in his 50s, like 55 right now, and got crazy freaking shredded. I mean, dude looks like, again, a stud. Crazy freaking shredded in his 50s. Been able to maintain that fat loss for well over a year now, as going through multiple muscle building phases throughout the process. So again, he's been able to do that with the heightened sense of awareness that he does better just abstaining from a lot of these processed foods out there. He knows the foods that allow him to feel his best, and he realizes like those are the foods that actually give him the greatest pleasure and joy in life. Like he looks forward to those whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods. Just as I look forward to my breakfast shake each and every day, the eggs and veggies, oats and berries, the Greek yogurt with berries as my third meal, I look forward to all these nutrient-rich foods and meals just as much as I look forward to some of my favorite treats when I go out to a bakery or cafe or anything like that. And again, my heightened sense of awareness has been in recent years, in recent months I should say, is that a lot of the treats that I used to enjoy, like a bag of chips or some M&Ms, don't bring me the kind of satisfaction like they used to, just like Tom has been experiencing with some of his favorite treats. I'm like, those aren't doing it for me anymore. If I'm going to have a treat, I'm going to leave the house and go get something that I really enjoy, like a freshly baked brownie or coffee cake or pumpkin loaf or anything like that that I really enjoy. And that brings us to the third biggest secret to lose fat and keep it off, and that is to limit your temptations. I do not have any processed foods in my house. None of my favorite treats are in the house just because I don't want to be faced with that temptation. For me, it is out of sight, out of mind. If I'm going to have my favorite treat, if I actually want to have a treat, I'm going to leave the house to get that. We have a limited amount of willpower, no matter how dedicated we are to this lifestyle, no matter how aware we are of the foods that allow us to thrive, and no matter how often we can kind of turn those down. It's best in our best interest to limit those temptations and not test our willpower on a consistent basis. A great example would be on one of the recent videos there. Darren mentioned that he's been having a tough time kind of sticking with his diet. He has his calorie target set, but at nighttime, again, it's when a little snacking, maybe a little bit of ice cream, and his wife has been bringing home some chocolate-covered nuts, which is his nemesis. Like me, once he has those chocolate-covered nuts, he just can't stop. So he's got to talk to his wife about that, either to not buy them at all or only buy them on a special occasion in a small amount. I've talked about this in the past, like where I went to the bulk food store where my daughter works at, and I'm just like, instead of getting a portion that's going to last. If I buy a portion that I think, oh, this will last me 2-3 days, no, it's going to be gone in 2-3 days. So if I want a treat right now, I'm just going to buy that small portion right now. So his wife can either buy that small portion for them to share right there that day as a treat in that moment, or just if she's going to buy them, she wants them for herself, she's going to have to hide them, keep them out of sight, out of mind from him, not even tell him that they're in the house so he's not tempted with those foods. So huge thing. Again, I shared my experience when I came back this summer, and I had bought a lot of processed foods, treats, some of my son's favorite treats when he was watching the house while I was away on vacation, watching Chief. And he didn't eat hardly any of them at all. So I'm like, oh my God, all these temptations are here. It'll last for a couple weeks here. I can just spread out all these treats. No, I was like, once I started eating, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to eat them all right now, get it out of the way, and then I'll start back to normal tomorrow. And this is the kind of rationale, kind of thinking that goes on in our mind when we're faced with these temptations. So we are best to avoid and limit those temptations to the best of our ability. So I hope you enjoyed those 3 biggest secrets to lose fat and keep it off. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your insights, your feedback on them. If you're applying them into your life, if you find them, again, it's so simple. Like, these are simple things that we've heard over and over again. Just eat to the point of satisfaction. Enjoy your favorite foods in moderation. Have a sense of awareness. Chew your food slowly. All the simple things. This is the stuff that works. We don't need to be looking for some weird tricks or foods to avoid or special fat torching workouts or anything like that. We just need to focus on these fundamentals. This is where it's at. We don't need any diet book or manual or completely overhaul our lifestyle and the macros that we're eating and all that stuff. Focus on mastering these 3 biggest secrets to lose fat and keep it off. I guarantee you're going to be setting yourself up for some long-term success. Again, it's a learning process. Have patience with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself when you do slip up, because again, there are going to be times where I will overeat a bit. Not anywhere near like what I used to. When I overeat now, same thing with Frank and same thing with Tom, same thing with any of my clients here. When we do overeat, it's not anywhere near what we used to do because we have this heightened sense of awareness. We know, like, we get to the point where, like, oh, I'm going to feel way too uncomfortable tomorrow. We're aware of the damage, the consequences that are going to come from it. And we're also aware of, you know what, how we thrive. So really having that heightened sense of awareness of what's going to suit us best in that moment. So again, I hope you enjoyed all of this. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you next video.